Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nasma Abdul Mohsin and this is the evening news. In tonight's headlines, President Abdul Yamin has met with a group of potential investors for key developmental projects of the Maldivian government. Attorney General Muhammad Anil says that female representation in parliament and local councils in the Maldives is very low and that there is need for women to be further politically empowered. And Speaker of the 18th Parliament, Abdullah Masih, says that the Parliament's Economic Affairs Committee did not violate Parliament regulations in reviewing the Special Economic Zones Bill. President Abdul Yamin has met with a group of potential investors for key developmental projects of the Maldivian government. Discussions at the meeting held yesterday were focused on the investment opportunities available in the Maldives and the mega developmental projects of the government. In this regard, the President briefed the Chinese business leaders on the government's plans to construct a bridge between Male and Hulule and develop Hulumale into a youth city. The President also shared about the I-Haven transshipment port project and the Ibrahim Nasser International Airport developmental project. Some Chinese companies whose leaders the President has met include Jiangsu Provincial Transportation Engineering Group, China State Construction Engineering Group, Huawei Technologies, China Railway Construction Corporation, Beijing Urban Construction Group, and Sino Hydro International. The meeting was attended by Minister of Foreign Affairs Dunya Ma'moon, Minister of Tourism Ahmad Adib Abdul Ghafoor, Minister of Economic Development Muhammad Said, Minister of Youth and Sports Muhammad Malik Jamal, and Minister at the President's Office Muhammad Hussein Sharif. Attorney General Muhammad Anil says that female representation in parliament and local councils in the Maldives is very low and that there is need for women to be further politically empowered. Addressing the opening ceremony of the symposium on improving electoral processes in the Maldives, organized by the Elections Commission in association with International Foundation for Electoral Systems and funded by USAID, Chief Guest and Attorney General Muhammad Anil said that female candidates have had limited electoral success over the years and that there is limited scope for women to advance in the country's political arena. Noting that empowering women is one of the country's Millennium Development Goals, Anil said that the Maldives lags far behind in achieving this target. Highlighting that there are only 5 female MPs and around 50 female councillors, he outlined the importance of affirmative action in addressing the issue. In addition, the Attorney General highlighted some points for improvement with regard to elections that were held after the new constitution came into force in 2008. He said that the guidelines issued by the Supreme Court during last year's presidential elections must be incorporated into the law and that the guidelines include steps that can be taken to enhance the country's electoral process. Anil said that recommendations given by various international organizations regarding past elections must be considered and reviewed and that an important basis of any election is ensuring that the process is well defined and well administered. The symposium, which is being held at Bandos Island Resort from 18th to 20th August, aims to reflect and draw from the past electoral experiences of the country, hold discussions with stakeholders on strengthening the electoral process for future elections, and determining steps that can be taken to improve the process in due course. Speaker of the 18th Parliament, Abdullah Masih, says that there is no room to claim that the Parliament's Economic Affairs Committee violated Parliament regulations on reviewing the Special Economic Zones Bill. The Speaker made the statement in response to points of order raised by opposition MPs at today's Parliament sitting. MPs of the opposition tried to obstruct the sitting by making repeated claims that the committee had concluded the bill's review against the set regulations and procedures. They claimed that the Speaker had also acted in his own interests, using the power of the majority without considering the views and participation of the opposition. Speaker Masih, however, said that he had personally looked into and monitored how the bill's review was conducted by the committee. He said that there were no violations of Parliament regulations or procedures during the review process. He added that he would always uphold the Constitution, Parliament regulations and his oath as the Parliament Speaker in discharging his duties. Opposition parties MDP and JP had boycotted the committee, claiming that PPM had not given them the chance to have a say in the bill's review process. A man has been jailed for 5 years for using counterfeit money. Sajid Jamil of Male Municipality's official register 4674 was sentenced to 5 years in jail by criminal court on Sunday. The court received witness statements that Sajid had used a counterfeit 500 rupiah note to pay for his meal at a restaurant and buy some items at a shop in Tagoradu on the night of 5th September 2007. The verdict also states that Sajid had used a counterfeit 500 rupiah note to pay for items at a shop in Lamu Hitadu on 7th September 2007, in addition to keeping several counterfeit notes in his wallet. This is the first time Sajid Jamil was proven guilty for counterfeiting. We now take a short break. Please stay with us for more news. Welcome back. In more news, a man has been sentenced to jail for 2 years for stealing a motorcycle. Criminal court sentenced Hussein Shinaz of Niadurmage Sinu Huludu to 2 years in jail on Sunday after he was proven guilty of stealing a motorcycle parked at Hemberu Meheli on 12 April 2013. According to the verdict, Shinaz had confessed to stealing the bike and riding it past the Metro Cafe in Mafan Ward. This is the second time the man has been proven guilty of theft. Police say that action will be taken against taxis that have their taxi roof signs lighted green while hired. According to police, while obeying taxi regulations are highly important, policemen will stop and take action against taxis that do not light their signs and taxis that display red while vacant and green while hired. In addition, the police will continue to find charges from taxis that do not have the required documentation on display as per the regulations. A man has been sentenced to jail for 15 years and fined a sum of 25,000 rupiah for possession of narcotic substances. Abdul Fattah Hussain of Zamani Kula Rasmadu was sentenced to jail by a criminal court on Sunday. It was stated in the verdict that the man had been proven guilty of possessing narcotics on 19 March 2013. It was stated that a rubber packet containing drugs was found in Fattah's possession upon inspection on the night of 19 March in a launch near Hemberu petrol shed and that Fattah had confessed that the item belonged to him. According to the verdict, Fattah must pay the fine within a month starting yesterday. This is the second time the man was proven guilty for a drug-related offense. Police have searched a large area of Hulumale to find the missing Minivan News reporter Ahmad Rilwan of Mafanu Shining Star. At a press conference held last night, head of the Serious and Organized Crime Department of Police, Chief Inspector Ablo Shati, said that while police are carrying out major efforts to search Hulumale where Rilwan is said to live, Division and atoll commanders have been asked to check if Rilwan is in any of the islands. Shati said that CCTV footages from various parts of Male and Rilwan's phone records are being checked as part of the investigation into the reporter's disappearance. Rilwan was last seen going to Hulumale on the night of 7th August after spending time with his family in Male. He was wearing a turquoise shirt and black trousers at the time of disappearance. With that, we conclude tonight's evening news. Thank you for watching. Have a very good night.